So you're living off grid and you want to create a compost pile. It's not as easy as you think, only because it's time consuming. The build itself is easy, but the time that it takes to make the compost apparently is anywhere from 3 months to a year. So I'm going to show you what we are doing. Here it is. Here's our compost pile. What I had to do was pick where I wanted it. It's about, I don't know, 70 feet or so from the home or RV. We leveled out some land. I got some free pallets from a nearby farmer's market that we saw. We pulled over and asked if we could have some. They graciously gave them to us. So we leveled out the spot. We put the 2 bins, one that's going to have the compost in it. We have a 4x4 holding the front on so that the animals can't get to it, like our dogs and cats, etc. If the cats really wanted to get in, I'm sure they could, but they haven't yet, thank goodness. We bought some straw, only used a little bit of it, and we made a layer on the bottom, and then we put some twigs and a few broken up twigs, and we put our food scraps in there. And then I have a pot here that used to grow marigolds, and every once in a while, as I put some food scraps, I will then add a little bit of soil. And what I'm assuming is taking the longest time is the actual breakdown. It's cold right now, so it's not going to break down as quickly. But we are composting things like carrots, apples, garlic peels, celery ends, coffee grounds, anything that is not citrus. We are basically, saving from our cooking and putting in there. We have a trash can in our kitchen that we save those in until that trash can gets full. It's just like a little small, like, bathroom trash can. We save them in that, and then we carry them out here every couple of days and pour them in. You're supposed to have as many green, Evie, no, as you do brown things inside your compost bin. So since I have such a thick layer of straw, leaves, and sticks, I'm going to be adding a lot more of our food waste before I add a layer of any more straw or anything like that. Evie, get out of there. And that is why I have 4x4, so that the dogs can't get in and eat the scraps. We're hoping that as time goes on in the next couple of months that we get at least a little bit of compost. You're supposed to stir this, or maybe sometimes people don't stir it. I don't know. I'm getting conflicting stuff, so you can tell me what you guys do. But once that is stirred and about 3/4 of the way up this pallet, I will then move it into this bin, where it completely composts even more. I will need to get another quote-unquote door pallet to keep that closed once I move it over here. But I think it's going to be a while. I think ours will probably take a little more than 3 months. Just because at this point we don't have a lot of food scraps. So anyway, this is a little bit of what we're doing with our compost and how it's working for us. If you have suggestions, please leave those in the comments. I'm sure we're doing something wrong, or maybe we're doing something right that you didn't know. I'm not sure, but this is how we're starting. We are about $10 in, and just because I did buy some wood screws, and we did screw these together in case of heavy winds or an animal or something like that. We did screw them together where we saw fit. You can see that that wasn't the easiest thing. I mean, here, another one here, right there. So, I mean, we just did it, probably used about 20 screws and screwed them together just so that they were a little more sturdy and they weren't just kind of leaning on top of each other in case there were heavy winds. They would stay up. So, yeah, that's what we're doing for compost for now. And eventually this year or next, we will have some beautiful compost to add to our garden. I'm thinking just across here will be our eventual garden plots, where we'll probably do a bunch of above ground cedar beds. And I'm going to figure out, layers in those, the correct soil and stuff for each plant. We're going to plant only things that we eat, or things that can be grown very cheaply that purposely just be used for the compost. Also, eventually we'll have chickens. We'll probably go somewhere in this area, maybe. Not sure. And then we'll also put some chicken in there. We do have horses in the area, but I'm not too sure about collecting horse shit and putting it in there. I don't know. I mean, people use that, right? People compost their horse crap and it actually is supposed to be good. I don't know. So yeah, just a little compost update from us here on the Vote Family Homestead, and we'll see you guys soon.